Okay, we're going to do another test. This is a test of the range limit feature, which we know works because we've shown that in a previous video, the version 4.02 firmware update. The range limit, I have it set to 25 meters radius, just for this experiment. The Phantom is warming up in the middle of the football field over there, so it's center field. There you go, flashing green light, it's just about ready. I'm going to fly it. It's facing forward that way. I'm just going to back it up in a straight line until it hits the 25 meter limit, which should be approximately halfway to the goal posts. It should stop there and not want to go any further. That proves that the range limit is set at 25 meters. Then I'm going to fly it, that's in GPS mode. Then I'm going to fly it in Atti mode beyond that line to demonstrate, I hope, that the range limit feature is disabled when flying in Atti mode. Once I get beyond the 25 meter line, let's say I'll go beyond that goalpost at the far end of the field, then I'll switch to GPS mode and it should wake up and realize that it's outside of its range limit and automatically come back inside the limit. That's the test. So two things. First, can we actually fly it outside the limit in Atti mode? And what happens if it is flying, let's say in the Phantom 2, the Phantom mode, which locks it into GPS mode, but that only works if it's receiving 6 satellites. So you may be able to fly beyond the limit when it's not getting satellite reception, but if it's out there beyond the limit and suddenly gets satellite reception, it will come back into its range limit. So first experiment, the range limit is set to 25 meters. It's facing that way. I'm just going to come straight back and hope it stops at the 25 meter line. So let's turn the camera a little bit. Actually, let's just back up to the edge of the field. That way you might be able to see the whole field in one shot. And we're about halfway, let's say, there. So I hope you can still see the Phantom. I'm going to take off, just fly it backwards until it hits the 25 meter line, hopefully before it hits the goalpost at the end of the field. And I remember to set my timer this time so I don't talk too long. Good to go. It's in flying mode, it's in GPS mode, take off. And, oh yeah, that's another thing. It recorded its home position there where it was warming up at center field, and to demonstrate that, I'm just going to stop here manually. Okay, I'm stopped in GPS mode, it's hovering. If I flip to home lock mode and pull back on the stick, it should head, yeah, towards center field. So it's heading towards its home point. That's where the home point is. Okay, so now the experiment was the middle of the field there, midfield is home point. If I just back straight up 25 meters, it should hit the wall at the edge of the field here. Before it gets to the goalpost. So I'm just holding full back stick and bingo, right there. And it's completely controllable. It's just, it won't let me go beyond that. So if I pull back on the stick, and when it gets to the wall there, I can go down and up, and I'm still holding full back stick. It just won't let me go over that line. So that does seem to work. The 25 meter line, 25 meter range limit is working. Oh, you can see that. Let me just come back a little more. Okay, so now do the same thing. It's hovering there, sort of midfield in GPS mode. I'm going to switch to Atti mode. I want to go a little higher so I clear the goalpost back there just to be safe. And just back straight up. So in reverse, I'm predicting it is not going to stop at the 25 meter line. It's just going to keep right on going, and it does. So that proves that. In Atti mode, it ignores the range limit. But if it's flying around out there without satellite reception or in attitude mode, and you switch to GPS mode, and it has more than 6 satellites, which I know it does, the moment I switch to GPS mode, it's going to wake up and realize it's outside of its range limit, and it's going to haul ass back into the range limit. There, I switched to home lock, not to home lock, to GPS mode, and look, it's not tearing back, but it's coming back towards the home position until it gets within the 25 meter line, and then it just loiters there. So that's not a bat out of hell flying back to the range limit, inside the range limit. We do that again in Atti mode, switch to Atti mode. I'm in Atti mode, backing up. Let me turn the camera so hopefully you can see that. So it's just about over the 25-meter line now. I just keep backing up. It happily flies right out of the range limit. But while it's out there, if I switch back to GPS mode, then it reactivates the range limiter. GPS mode, boom, and now it's return to home speed. It's very gradual until it gets within the 25-meter cylinder, and there, now it's back inside its range limit, and it says, now what do you want to do? It just sits there and waits. And I have full control the whole time it's doing that. No, I don't actually. Let's demonstrate that too. Back to Atti mode, back out of the cylinder. So now I'm back outside the range limit. Flip to GPS mode. I cannot pull back on the stick. I can't make it go back. I can't make it resist coming in, but I can go left or right, and I can yaw, and I can make it go up and down while it's doing all that. But it's going to insist on coming back until it gets within the range limit. You can't stop it from doing that. Unless you just chop the throttle and drop it out of the sky. You can force it to land that way on the way. So that was the whole point of that demonstration, because there is a theory out there that flyaways are caused by the Phantom somehow getting a bad GPS signal that, or whatever, that causes it to think its home position has suddenly changed by many kilometers. And normally that wouldn't affect it at all, because when you're flying, it doesn't care where the home position is. It's only using that when it's in its autonomous mode, either in return to home, or if it thinks it's outside its range limit, that'll force it to fly back towards the home position. And the theory was that all of a sudden, boom, it thinks it should be over there, it's outside of its range limit, and it takes off like a bat out of hell and is completely uncontrollable. It's not. It's controllable. It's just you can't stop it from heading that way. But you certainly can control left or right or up and down and land it on the way, or you can just simply switch to Atti mode. Okay, we never did show that. Let's go back to Atti mode. So I'm in Atti mode, and I'm going to back it out of the outside of the range limit. So over the goalpost down there somewhere is beyond the range limit. Can you see that, I hope? Kind of dark already. So now it's outside of the range limit. If I flip to GPS mode, it'll start coming this way by itself. But I can flip to Atti mode and stop it. So it only insists on coming this way while it's in GPS mode. GPS mode, it's flying back to the range limit. But if I flip back to Atti mode, I can stop it and back it up again. So Atti mode cancels that range limit feature. I think that's enough. That's all I wanted to show. Enough. Good night. What a cool toy. Bye-bye.